What if I told you that the monster you fear most was once a boy you might have rooted for? That the tyrant who demanded the blood of children for sport was once a young man who fell in love, who felt fear, and who believed in his own way that he was the hero of his own story? What if I told you that the line between a hero and a villain is not a wall, but a razor's edge, an edge you could cross without ever realizing it, one compromised choice at a time? Today, we're not just revisiting the world of Panem. We are descending into the mind of its most infamous architect to witness the forging of a villain and to ask a terrifying question: are monsters born or are they made? Every story has a hero. Every saga has a villain. We are comfortable with this division. It allows us to draw a line in the sand, to place ourselves firmly on the side of good, and to view evil as something wholly other, a monstrous force that exists outside the realm of our own humanity. But the most unsettling stories are the ones that blur this line, that smudge the ink until we can no longer tell where the light ends and the shadow begins. This is the treacherous territory into which Suzanne Collins plunges us in her masterful and haunting prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is not the story of Katniss Everdeen's rebellion. This is a story that takes place 64 years earlier, in the fragile, wounded aftermath of the First War between the capital and the districts. The Hunger Games are a raw and brutal affair, not the polished spectacle they would one day become. They are a crude instrument of punishment, a grim reminder of the capital's absolute power. And at the heart of this story is a young man whose name will one day be synonymous with tyranny itself, Coriolanus Snow. But the Coriolanus we meet here is not the cold, serpentine president of Panem. He is an 18-year-old student at the elite academy, handsome, charming, ambitious, and desperately poor. The once great house of Snow has fallen on hard times, its fortune obliterated by the war. All Coriolanus has left is his name, his wits, and one single opportunity for glory, to be a mentor in the 10th annual Hunger Games. His success, and the university prize that comes with it, is the only thing standing between his family and utter ruin. The book's grand promise is not to redeem this character, but to reveal him. Collins doesn't ask for our sympathy, but for something far more challenging our understanding. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a slow, meticulous, psychological dissection of a soul. It explores the core problem of how ideology is formed, how fear can curdle into a need for control, and how love itself can become a tool for possession. It is a cautionary tale that argues that the systems we create to protect ourselves from chaos can often become the very things that strip us of our humanity. Prepare yourselves, because this is not just a return to Panem. It is a journey into the heart of darkness and a chilling exploration of the man who would one day build his throne upon it. The story is told in 3 parts, each marking a distinct stage in Coriolanus Snow's chilling transformation. It begins with the mentor, and we are dropped into a capital that is a shadow of its future self. The city is scarred, the people are lean, and the memory of war is a fresh, open wound. Coriolanus, or Corio as is known to his cousin Tigris, lives a life of carefully constructed illusion. He resides in a grand penthouse apartment, but the furniture has been sold off to pay for food. He starches his last decent shirt with potato water and eats cabbage soup to keep his stomach from growling in public. His entire existence is a performance, a desperate attempt to maintain the veneer of Snow prestige. The family mantra, repeated with a conviction that borders on delusion, is Snow lands on top. For Coriolanus, this isn't just a saying, it's a lifeline. His chance to rise comes with the 10th Hunger Games, where for the first time, Academy students are assigned as mentors to the district tributes. It's a project designed to make the grim spectacle more engaging for the capital audience. Coriolanus, with his high grades and lofty name, expects a tribute from a strong district, a contender. Instead, he is handed the ultimate humiliation, the female tribute from District 12, the lowest of the low, the district that is a running joke in the capital. It's a slap in the face from Dean Highbottom, a man who seems to hold a mysterious and deep-seated grudge against the Snow family. But then, the reaping. And we meet the songbird of the title, Lucy Greybeard. She is nothing like the other tributes. When her name is called, she doesn't shrink or weep. She creates a spectacle. In a ruffled rainbow dress, she walks through the crowd of girls and drops a snake down the collar of the mayor's daughter. On stage, struck by the furious mayor, she doesn't cower. After a moment, buoyed by the voices of her Covey family singing from the crowd, She takes the microphone and sings a song of defiance, of heartbreak, of a spirit that cannot be owned. In that moment, Coriolanus sees not a victim, but an asset, a performer. He realizes his throwaway tribute is something else entirely. She is a show. His initial motivations are purely selfish. He sees Lucy Gray as his ticket to the Plinth Prize, the scholarship that will secure his future. He meets her at the train station, a calculated gesture of care, offering a white rose from his grandmother's prized garden. He wants her to trust him, to work with him, but his plans are thrown into chaos when he sees the reality of the tribute's transport. They arrive in a filthy livestock car, treated not as people but as animals. This is our first glimpse into Coriolanus' internal conflict. He feels a flicker of pity, of revulsion, but his primary instinct is to manage the situation, to control the narrative. This instinct leads him to make a bold, foolish move. He joins the tributes in the transport cage to the zoo where they will be held. The zoo becomes a stage for his burgeoning talent for manipulation. Humiliated by being put on display with the district riffraff, he is on the verge of panic. But Lucy Gray whispers to him, "Own it." And he does. He turns the humiliating spectacle into a performance, presenting Lucy Gray to the Capitol crowds as a star, charming the children, engaging with the news reporters. He begins to build her a story, a persona. She is not just a girl from District 12. She is a covey, a traveling musician, a mysterious and captivating songbird. It works. The Capitol is intrigued. The first sponsor gifts begin to trickle in. He is playing the game, and he is good at it. But the world of the 10th Hunger Games is far more brutal and unpredictable than the one we know. The story takes a dark turn during a tour of the heavily damaged arena. Rebel bombs planted long ago are detonated, turning the tour into a bloodbath. Coriolanus is pinned beneath a burning beam, about to die, when Lucy Gray, who had a clear path to escape, turns back and saves his life. This act shatters his calculated worldview. He is no longer simply her mentor, a puppeteer pulling the strings. He is in her debt. His life, which he values above all else, now belongs to her. The mantra snow lands on top feels hollow when he has been pulled from the fire by the girl he saw as a stepping stone. This brings us to part 2, the prize, where the games begin in earnest and Coriolanus' moral descent accelerates. He is no longer just aiming for a good showing. He is determined to make Lucy Gray the victor. It is a matter of honor, of repayment. His ambition merges with a new, confusing emotion, a possessive affection for his girl. He throws himself into the role of game maker, working with his classmates on a proposal for Dr. Gall, the sadistic and brilliant head game maker who sees the games as a living laboratory for human nature. Coriolanus, drawing on the public's fascination with Lucy Gray, formalizes the ideas of sponsorships and betting. He is actively shaping the games into a spectacle, turning human suffering into a commodity for public consumption. He understands, instinctively, that to control people, you must first give them a show. His commitment to Lucy Gray's victory leads him to his most significant transgression yet. Dr. Gall unveils a new weapon, a tank of genetically engineered, rainbow-colored snakes. They are designed to attack anyone whose scent is unfamiliar to them. In a chilling test, Coriolanus' classmate, Clementia, who lied about working on the proposal with him, is forced to reach into the tank. The snakes, not recognizing her scent from the paper, viciously attack her. Coriolanus realizes with horror that Dr. Gall plans to unleash these snakes into the arena. He knows they will kill Lucy Gray. And so, in a moment of calculated rebellion, he secretly drops a handkerchief carrying his and Lucy Gray's scent into the tank to familiarize the snakes with her, to make them see her as one of their own. He has cheated. He has directly tampered with the Hunger Games. He rationalizes it as an act of love, of protection, but it is a profound break from the rules he so desperately wants to master. It is an admission that he will do whatever it takes to win. Lucy Gray, armed with this secret advantage and the rat poison Coriolanus has also smuggled to her, becomes a formidable player. She uses the poison to eliminate one tribute and her strange connection with the snakes, which now see her as one of them, to survive Dr. Gall's terrible surprise. She doesn't just cower and hide. She sings to the snakes, calming them, drawing them to her in a hypnotic, terrifying performance that captivates all of Panem. She wins the 10th Hunger Games. Snow has landed on top. But the victory is short-lived. Dean Highbottom, the man who has shadowed Coriolanus' every move, reveals he has found the evidence of his cheating: the handkerchief, the compact used for the poison, the napkin used to smuggle food. The prize Coriolanus receives is not the university scholarship he has dreamed of. It is not a path to power and prestige. Faced with public disgrace, he is given an alternative. He is forced to enlist as a peacekeeper, exiled to the very districts he despises. His ambition, his intelligence, his desperate need to win has led not to glory, but to ruin. He is being erased. And so begins Part 3, the Peacekeeper, the final act of his transformation. Coriolanus arrives in District 12 a broken man. The glamour of the capital is gone, replaced by the grime and despair of the coal district. His life as he knew it is over. But there is one flicker of hope. One reason he chose this specific posting. Lucy Gray-Baird has been sent back here. He finds her, and for a brief, fleeting moment, a different future seems possible. They steal moments together at a lake deep in the woods, a place of natural beauty far from the ugliness of both the capital and the district. He swims, she sings, and he entertains the fantasy of a different life, a life of simple survival, of freedom, of love, a life without the constant pressure of being a snow. But the real world and Coriolanus' true nature cannot be kept at bay. The discovery of two bodies, the mayor's daughter, Mayfair, and Lucy Gray's old flame, Billy Top, shatters their idyllic escape. In a tense confrontation, Coriolanus shoots and kills Mayfair to prevent her from exposing a rebel plot, a plot that his friend Sejanus is entangled in. He is killed again, not in the chaos of an arena, but in a calculated act of self-preservation. This act sets off a chain reaction. The murder weapon, a peacekeeper rifle, is now a loose end, a thread that could unravel his entire future. The pressure mounts. He knows it is only a matter of time before he is discovered. But then, a miracle. An escape. On the very morning he and Lucy Gray plan to flee north into the wilderness, he is informed that he has passed the officer's exam. He has been given a second chance, an honorable discharge from his peacekeeper duties, and a place in the elite officers' school in District 2. A path back to power, back to the life he believes is his birthright, has opened before him. And here, in the woods, with the murder weapon hidden and a choice to be made, is the final crucible for his soul. On one side is Lucy Gray, the girl who saved his life, the girl he believes he loves, who represents freedom, chaos, and a life outside the system. On the other side is the capital, the promise of power, order, and the restoration of the Snow name. To be with Lucy Gray, he must abandon all ambition and trust in a future he cannot control. To return to the capital, he must eliminate the one person who knows his secrets. Lucy Gray is the final loose end. He realizes she knows this too. She knows he killed 3 people. She becomes a threat. The trust between them, the very thing she sang about, evaporates in the humid air of the forest. The final act is a hunt. Coriolanus, armed with a rifle, pursues Lucy Gray through the woods. She is a ghost, a songbird who uses the mockingjays, the capital's own failed experiment, to taunt him, to lead him on. He fires wildly into the woods, trying to silence the birds, to silence her, to silence the part of himself that she represents. Whether he hits her or not is left in ambiguity. She simply vanishes. But in his mind, he has killed her. He has eliminated the final witness, the last vestige of the boy he was. He disposes of the murder weapons in the lake, erasing the physical evidence of his crimes. He has made his choice. He has chosen control over love. He has chosen power over humanity. When he returns to the capital, he is no longer Corio. He is Snow, and he has, at last, landed on top. So why is this book an absolute must-read? In a landscape of familiar hero narratives, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a radical and unsettling masterpiece. It doesn't give us a villain we can easily dismiss. It gives us one we are forced to understand, to walk alongside, to see the world through his calculating eyes. Its unique essence lies in its refusal to offer easy moral judgments. Collins doesn't write a redemption story, she writes a corruption story, and in doing so, she holds a dark mirror up to our own world. The book brilliantly explores how political systems and personal ambition can warp a human soul. It suggests that the desire for control, the fear of chaos, is a more potent and dangerous force than simple, cartoonish evil. This book is for the reader who isn't afraid of the dark. It is for the person who loves complex moral philosophy, for the student of history who sees the echoes of the past in the present, for anyone fascinated by the psychology of power. It's for the thinkers, the questioners, the ones who believe a story should challenge them, not just comfort them. Who is this book now for? It is not for the reader seeking a triumphant hero. It is not for someone who wants a straightforward romance with a happy ending. It is not for those who want to leave a story feeling clean and certain. This book will leave you feeling unsettled, haunted, and deeply thoughtful. The single most valuable takeaway is the chilling, unforgettable understanding that the architecture of tyranny isn't built by monsters, but by people who make a series of small, rational choices to protect themselves, to get ahead, to impose order on a world they fear. People, in some ways, not so different from us. That razor's edge between a hero and a villain. This book forces you to walk it for over 500 pages. It's an experience that is as intellectually thrilling as it is emotionally devastating. This summary is just the map, a pale outline of the territory. To truly understand the gravity of Snow's fall, you have to experience the journey itself. You have to let Suzanne Collins' precise, unflinching prose guide you through the moral maze of his mind. You have to feel the weight of each choice as he makes it. This is not just a prequel. It is a profound work of political and philosophical fiction that enriches and darkens the entire Hunger Games saga. It will change the way you see President Snow forever. So do yourself a favor. Click the link in the description. Buy the book. Read it and prepare to be haunted. You won't regret it. And before you go, don't forget to land on that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into a book that could change your life.